What's going on there, dear dog nation? What's up, boy?
Going on, big dog?
Not a whole lot, not a whole lot. I can't see you. You're kind of breaking up a little bit.
Hold on. Well,
I see you a little bit. You're breaking up just a bit, though. I see your big old beard.
all right, give me two. Great job, man. Big old bird. All right, give me a minute. I'm see if I can hook up back up this Wi-Fi here.
All right. What up, man? I don't care. I don't care as long as they run a deer. You know what I'm saying? There you go. There you go.
You got give me about two. Oh,
What up, Kurt Hogs? Jackson here to hunt.
it ain't five.
Got a good bit of people. But them fox walkers is where it's at. Them big old tall. Hey, I see you now. Hey, you watch Yellowstone?
Yes, I have.
You are ripped, dude.
By far, that's by far the best show that is on TV
Oh yeah,
whatsoever.
I can't wait for
That and Hell on Wheels. Have you seen Hell on Wheels?
No, I ain't watched it yet.
Oh man, it is good. I mean, it is good. It's really good. But I got some Wi-Fi right this minute.
Well, what's up, big dog?
Hey, y'all been? Can you see me good now?
Yeah, I see you good. I hear you good too.
Oh yeah, there we go. How was your day today?
Man, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Got some questions right here. Got a guy said, "What you think about them Lumbee gals?"
Let me tell you something. Lumbee's where it's at now.
Hey,
Lumbee's where it's at. All you hear is Cherokee till you go to Lumberton, then you be changing your mind. Getting it, Buck.
so how the hell did you start hunting, man? How'd you get into it?
Well, I tell you, a lot of people's kind of got cool stories on how they got into it. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know that I ever remember not, being involved with dogs some type of way. Growing up, we did it a bunch of different ways. I had beagles at one time. Well, I say when I was a kid. Daddy had beagles at one time. We've had deer dogs, bird dogs, coon dogs. You name it. I even had a plot one time that tree squirrel. We've had it all. So like I said, I really don't remember not having dogs. All I can know is about when I got in high school, I kind of changed my direction from wanting to kill to really starting to pay attention to dogs. I say probably 15 or 16, I really started figuring out what was going on and kind of fell in love with it. Been there ever since. As far as that, yeah, I really don't know my first time ever going or anything. I just, growing up, Daddy always had dogs, so that's kind of all I knew. And it ain't been no different way for me. We've had them since I can remember. I think Daddy was kind of the same way. I don't think he's ever been without them.
Same, man. I can't tell you the first time I went hunting, but I feel like I've always been there. Like I was born down there or something.
Always been there. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I honestly do not remember the first time. I just, growing up, they've always been there. I kind of fell in love with it, and even if I didn't grow up with it, though, I feel like I would be probably just in love with it as I am now.
That's right. Um,
So
I was talking to you earlier. So where do you live at in South Carolina?
it's a little town called Latta. We ain't got about 3 red lights. We right here on the North Carolina South Carolina line. It's in Dillon County, and we it ain't too far from Florence. A lot of people really ain't ever heard of Latta. But yes, it's a tiny little town. All 3 red lights. The whole big town of it. Uh, Everybody kind of knows everybody, and I feel like I live in paradise. I
Oh
could
yeah,
be wrong.
yeah.
Tony, what's going on, buddy?
It looks like it, man. I seen you, scrolling through when I started making these TikToks. I'll see dog hunters and stuff like that, and I like a couple of the videos. Well, I seen yours, man. Y'all running around in them cornfields and all, man. Looks like it's a good time for sure.
It's definitely a good time. It's a different world. So we started fox hunting. Daddy fox hunting before I was born. Growing up, we just had deer dogs. And one winter we had a dog. We got actually come from a trash dump. And he started jumping foxes. And ever since then, we kind of started breaking dogs a little at a time, and ain't backed off since, and kind of got away from the deer dogs actually. We deer hunt a little bit, but not much. But yeah, it was actually a dog. He just for some reason he liked the fox, and he started jumping them. We started breaking dogs, and ain't turned around since.
Oh yeah, y'all fell in love with it when y'all seen him running that fox.
Oh yeah, it was. It's definitely a different world. A lot different from what I was used to growing up deer hunting. It is a little different. It's a lot in the same ways, but it is very different. You know, in the ways that we hunt versus kind of deer hunting. We kind of all up in town around the neighborhoods, and I've seen them run under trampolines through red lights, all kind of mess. So it's definitely a good time. It's very chaotic, very very chaotic, but it's a good time. I wouldn't if you ever bear hunter with hounds. I wouldn't trade it and do it any other way. I could be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like. So how many dogs you got?
So right now I have people are gonna freak out when I say this. I have 22 puppies that are from 10 weeks to 4 weeks. I hunt 14 dogs, and I got I think 3 or 4 young dogs that just getting started, kind of been pilling around the yard.
Yeah, heck yeah. That's what I texted you the other day. A buddy of mine asked me if he said he's seen some of your dogs. They look good, some tall, long-legged Walker dogs. And I said, man, I think he said he's got like 30 pups or something like that. I said, let me ask him. And you was talking to me about that pup. But anyway, so what kind of dog food you feeding them, man? I mean, do you go out and buy a pallet at a time, or how you do it?
I'll be honest with you. So we feed Pro Plan. It is very expensive. I don't really like feeding that kind of food, but in my opinion, the Pro Plan is probably the best feed. And I have found that if you don't have to feed them as much. It honestly, it kind of equals out. I was feeding at one time. I was feeding Showtime. Uh, I've tried the Pride, and kind of all of it. And you kind of have to feed them, double the amount you would on the Pro Plan. I feel like the Pro Plan was, definitely the best food choice. Now the price ain't good, but like I said, we ordered it in the pallets, and
Yeah.
I feel like you probably come out with the same price because we don't feed nearly as much as we did. Normally about a 5 gallon bucket a day will cover about everything I got, and it's still kind of hard to keep the weight off of them.
Oh yeah.
Most of them still kind of too fat. So I definitely think it's good food. I do wish Pro Plan would kind of support the running dogs a little more. They do a lot for the coon dogs. The tree stock dogs. You don't really get promoted a lot for the running dogs, but I would really like if they sponsored me. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Anything to save some money on some dog food, man. It feels
You ain't lying, man. It's
like
expensive.
and I only got 9, so I can't imagine, however, I mean, you say 30, 40 head over there at the house?
Yeah, I mean it's a crap. At one time I had, so I had 28 puppies. I've kind of sold them here and there. I'm gonna keep selling them. I would like to keep 10, before I got them started, but I got them on the yard with these rabbits right here now, and I enjoy them. I do like the puppies, but they eat a lot. I can tell you that
Oh yeah.
they eat like crazy.
See, I was feeding. I kind of bounced around for a while there trying to find the best, and I went to during hunting season. I went to damn, I just had a value pack, and I tried it for a while. Smaller feed, they said it had like better stuff in there for them, as far as like natural grains and stuff like that. And man, it wasn't putting the weight on them. I mean, I ran them hard, all year, and even my buddy, I talked him into going to it, and finally, one day I caught my dogs up, and I don't know, they just didn't look good, and then I keep them wormed and all that, and I got on the radio and I said, man, I'm about to swap back, and I never had a problem with Showtime, man. I've always stuck with Showtime ever since that day, and it keeps them. I mean, it's not the best of the best, you pay for what you get, and so I've stuck with the Showtime. Before I went back to Showtime, I stuck with Victor, and man, that stuff it's high price. It's 40 back, and it's all right if you're feeding 1 or 2 dogs, but when you got 9, 10 head, that $40 for 40 pounds, you ain't getting 50 pounds. It runs by pretty quick, but it got the dogs back looking good, and I stuck back with Showtime, and hell, now the price is rising on it just like everything else.
So what do you feed, the blue bag or the gray bag?
Right now I'm feeding just the black bag because I'm
The black bag.
not really running them as hard that I would during hunting season. Now when hunting season rolls around, I'll swap it back. If they're out of the blue bag, I'll get the gray bag. If they're out of the gray bag, I'll get the blue bag. I'll just kind of bounce around with it.
I fed the gray. I do feed my puppies the gray bag of Showtime. It's got a lot of. I really don't know what all it's got in it, but it's got a lot to keep them fat. I don't really like running dogs on it because it kind of gets them hot.
Yeah,
Uh, from just if you run them real hard, it's like it makes them a little sluggish. But as far as growing puppies, man, the gray Showtime bag definitely keeps weight on them. Probably the best that I've seen. But like I said, running them on it made mine a little sluggish.
yeah. They didn't. What they sluggish? They just look run down, or they just look fat and tired, or what you mean by that?
Fat and tired,
Yeah,
about like me most of the time. Lazy.
yeah.
They'd get lazy. Go to sleep before you turn them loose.
Um, I was talking to Tony the other day, and he was telling me something. I think it was Purina or something that he feeds his puppies to, get them big, get them the way they should be. I guess I should say. So that gray bag is Showtime, man. I stuck with the blue for my pups, and man, I kept them wearing. I don't know if it was just the breed or what. They're some short-legged little 6 month olds. I'm trying to get them, a little bit bigger. If they don't grow, they're gonna look like beagles, man. I got to get them going.
So what do you feed if you raise a litter of puppies? How do you go about raising them? What you feed them, and kind of get them to grow?
Man, I put when we pull them from the tit, I've raised a whole pack of puppies right when I first got into dog hunting. My daddy had I think 10 head. We split them up, and I raised a whole pack, of one trail dog. And if that ain't aggravating enough, man, it'll make you not want to have dogs until you finally, you get them running and you hear them run that first time. But mainly, man, I feed them to Showtime, man. I put some water in there with it, let it break it down. But I've seen people put that stuff. I'm not sure what it is, but you can get it from like Tractor Supply or something like that. Put it on their food, some paste, and they said it works. But I don't know. I throw some grown dog food and wet it with a little bit of water. Some people do milk, and you know,
Tell them to go down.
yeah, that's right. Um, so what do you do to get yours big though? You just feed them that gray Showtime, or
Well, so I when I pull mine, the last litter I raised here, they were 4 weeks old, and I had to pull them off the mama. they was kind of getting rough on her. So I normally do the calf milk, but I didn't really like the way it did them. Growing up, that's all we kind of used. And I went to old man's house the other day, and he told me to get whole milk, the whole gallon milk. And man, it's like night and day to me. It's crazy how much it makes them grow. They get now where I got 10 of them in one pen, and the self feeders,
Yeah.
uh, it'll hold about a 5 gallon bucket. They eating a whole 5 gallon bucket in 3 days, on top of a gallon of milk, in their food bowl a day. So it's made a believer out of me. This is the first time I've ever tried it, and it's definitely made a believer out of me as far as growing puppies. Like I said, I used to use calf milk and scraps and stuff, and I still do the scraps a lot.
Yeah.
Whenever we get some. Uh, and I used to try chicken. I would go here. We used to get some chicken from a guy that they couldn't produce, and I used to feed them chicken, and I kind of like the way the chicken did them. But for me, from what I've seen, the whole milk or 2% milk, I haven't tried the 2% milk. Um, that's probably the best that I've seen. I mean, it made them. They're huge puppies. I can say that. I'm definitely pleased with the way it's got them eating and stuff.
Yeah. I seen that video.
I don't really know what the difference is. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, milk should be milk to me,
Yeah.
but it's growing them pretty good.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to give it
I
a shot, man.
can say.
Give it a shot for sure. They look good though, man. In that video, when that one you shared the other day of them running that rabbit, some pretty. He's getting on too, man.
Man, I tell you, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to afford them when they get grown. They eat so much. I mean, they eat more than my grown dogs. They ain't. But the oldest one's 10 weeks, and man, I'm telling you, they eating like crazy. I can tell you.
Um,
So, but I do know a lot of people that I associate with. They do chickens. They do whole chickens. They get them from the chicken houses and stuff. They'll throw the chickens out there, and the dogs eat the chickens whole, and it's good protein on them. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. Um, but for me, from what I found, that whole milk definitely made a believer out of me, and it's cheaper. Yeah, I think the last time I bought the calf milk from Tractor Supply, man, it was like $40 for a little bag of it. I mean, it was crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely, and I mean, like in a week and a half, I was out of it. I said, "Bro, I can,
Yeah.
$3 a gallon, bro. Heck, it equals out the same." Most people that do the gallon milk, they got somebody, that's getting milk off the truck and stuff, and they getting $1, $2 a gallon. I did the math on it, and I was like, "Nah,
Yeah.
it still costs the same. I mean, I don't give a dang which way you go. They're still expensive, but definitely for what I've seen, that the whole milk definitely has made a believer out of me. I can say so."
What I was talking about earlier was that dine. A guy commented on here and said he does the dime, the black bag, and the Showtime. He said that'll get them right. And then goat milk, fat yogurt works good. Some puppy chow with dine, chicken and rice. Old Big Daddy Buck Assassin commented on there.
What about peanut butter? Do you ever use peanut butter?
No, I ain't even never heard of peanut butter, man. I'll give it to an 8 point out there in the woods, but I tried it.
Yeah, I got a bucket of peanut butter. I feed mine peanut butter. I put it in the dry food. Um, I don't know if it helps a lot, but it definitely helps them, eat it a little bit more. That's another old trick I picked up from an older friend. And them older guys is definitely, and technology has definitely changed the world. But I'm kind of a little bit old school. So
That's,
I kind of do things, I guess, a little bit more old school. So
hey, whatever works, man.
um,
Dude, I'm writing down notes as we talk right now. I seen them dogs good now. Um,
yeah, the peanut butter was the first one for me too. I had never really ain't ever thought about it. Man said, "Well, you ever try peanut butter?" I said, "No, not really." He said, "Get you a jug of it and throw it in the food, mix it up." Man, I'm telling you, they sit there and lick it. They can't. It's funny to watch them too because it gets stuck in their mouth.
that's right. Hell, just if you go into the gym working out, I mean, you got to watch your diet too. Peanut butter, eggs. I can see where the chicken comes in for sure. And I actually talked to a guy. about a month ago said the same thing, man. They go out to chicken houses, get them chickens, and he said it helps them big time. Got a comment that says, "How can you get young puppies 7 to 10 months to start running on a track? I don't have any trail dogs." Um, you want to answer that?
But I'll be honest with you. I mean, if is he deer hunting or they say
If I had to guess, I'd say deer hunting.
probably the easiest way to do it is to get them started. Just send them to a starting pen. If you don't have them, and if you kind of in a bad spot, some people a lot luckier than others. A lot of people I know keep their dogs on the yard. I'm not fortunate enough to stay in a place like that. We got a little bit of traffic. But I know a lot of people that, keep them on the yard. But if not, if a starting pen's around, just take them to a starting pen for a week. And if not, go on Saturday night, turn them loose and haul tail and tell them to figure it out. That's about the only way to do it, honestly, is just, I'm a firm believer in ground time.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, for sure.
the more they do it, the better they're going to get at it. That's kind of with anything. And they got it in them. Just turn them loose and let them figure it out. But if you don't have the resources to do it, what you could do, kind of do it like a coon feeder. Just set you up a corn pile, 5 or 10 yards off the road. Put you a camera on it. Deer shows up, go and dump them on it.
Yeah,
Uh, there's a couple different ways to do it. Probably the easiest way is just send them to a starting pen. Uh,
yeah.
but like I said, if you ain't got that available,
If you don't have a trail dog, man, it's tough. You can walk them in the woods. Try to jump one up in front of them. I mean, at the last resort, go after it rains. Hell, if you see a dead deer on the highway, get a deer leg or something. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways. At 7 to 10 months old, it's kind of an older dog at that point to me. I wouldn't say an old dog or he's still considered a pup to me at that age, but um, I try to go with my buddies the most I could. Turn them out with them if they'll let you, and try to put them on very fresh scent. If that's what you want them to get on. Uh, you got a guy comment and said, "Why does a deer race sound better than a fox race?" I I can let you guess who said that.
tell Tony you got to have the right colored ears to be able to listen to a good fox race.
Hey, that's funny.
Oh, I got one here. Somebody said, "Does we see the coyotes kind of hurting the fox population?" Yes, we have seen the coyotes uh hurt the fox population. Like I said, I ain't fox it alone. This is my fourth year. Listen to the older people talk. They had foxes everywhere. There wasn't no coyotes. Really wasn't a lot of deer. Everybody fox hunted. It's a little bit different now. There's coyotes everywhere. There's deer everywhere. Just ain't a lot of foxes. So it's definitely, I ain't gonna say killed the population, but it's definitely hurt it some. It's definitely changed the game. It's pushed the game up in town around houses and stuff like that. You just don't see foxes, out in the middle of nowhere no more. But like I said, me personally, I don't think the coyotes are bad on the deer. I mean, they catch an occasional fawn here and there, but I think their number one predator is probably the turkeys. I really do think they hurt the turkey population. Like I said, that a lot of people, think they terrible on the deer, and they might be, but just around my house, they ain't. They need to get fired if they are, because we got plenty of coyotes and we got a deer behind every tree. Literally, they come up in my yard at night. I mean, it's ridiculous.
The deer do.
Yeah, God, I mean they're everywhere. I mean we are infested with deer. I've got to say it, and that's what makes it tough for us. I mean dogs has got to be broke, so we just got deer. You know, everywhere you look, there's a deer. And I've seen more little fawns this year than I have seen in a long time. I've actually seen more baby rabbits this year than I've seen in a long time. Oh, so I don't know, man. The Coyotes has definitely changed the game, but I don't think that they, have murdered out everything for sure. But they've definitely changed it. That's for sure.
Um,
But do y'all see the Coyotes kind of hurting y'all's deer population where you at?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I mean, we got some coyotes. I mean, me and my buddy, he's in here now watching. We put out a deer camera the other day, or a camera, and we was getting deer, hogs, fox, bobcats, coyotes. I mean, the only thing I think we ain't got on there is a bear yet. So I mean, where we hunt at, I told him it's like the Amazon, man. He said he's got a cell cam, and every day it'll send him a picture of a different animal down there. But as far as the deer go, man, you got some places around here that are just, they ain't killed does in 70, since 1970 or whatever. So they got a lot more deer over here than on the swamp necessarily. Because what I was telling Tony on our last video, you got the federal land, and it's like they disappear, man. You can run them hard till October. I mean, till about November, midway through November, and it's like they know where home's at. They know if I cross this line, I'm not gonna get ran. So I wouldn't necessarily say that they're hurting them down here, but it's just weird, man. You run them hard that first of the season, then they just gone. And even, I mean, we've been getting a bunch of pictures of does, and a buddy of mine just joined. I said, man, he's kind of discouraged. And I was like, man, listen, I'm telling you, they're going to show up out of nowhere. And sure enough, we go check cameras last week, and you get buck pictures everywhere. So it's a weird game. It's a fun sport though. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
So do y'all have bears?
Yeah. There's a lot of bear down here. The club that I grew up in, man, they kill them like crazy. I don't know if you know Cody Royal on TikTok. He actually hunts down there where I grew up at, and man, that thing's infested with bears, right on the edge of the federal land, and I don't even know how many they kill, but it's always got some big old bear in there, for sure.
That's crazy. I feel like everybody's got bears, but everybody I talk to, they like, man, we got bears. I'm like, I've seen like 2 bears my whole life. We actually did have one on top of the high school the other day. Beatingest thing I ever seen in my life. Yeah, it was all over Facebook. It was crazy. But I mean, like I said, I've seen 2 in my whole life. We don't really. You get one come through every now and again, but we don't have a lot of them. And people that bear hunt talk like it's pretty fun. I've always wanted to try it. I just I ain't gonna be much on dragging one out now, but
Yeah, they got a lot of big old buggies for that, man. Some souped up rigs. They'll go
yeah.
on them and get them. So as
Somebody said,
far as deer hunt, man,
what's y'all?
uh, when deer season roll around, I mean, do y'all still deer hunt, or you just strictly fox hunt?
Yeah, so kind of the way my schedule works. We're real busy in the wintertime. We got a lot of shutdowns in the wintertime. I try to take most of my time off in the summer. So we hunt really from July 4th all the way up to October 15th. And then when January 1st rolls around, we hunt from January to March, whenever turkey season rolls in, and then we'll leave them on. We'll let the little ones, kind of raise up until July. And then, probably last month, about December, I got 3 brood gyps that we deer hunt. I will deer hunt some, but only because I can't go fox hunting. But yeah, we still do deer hunt, especially probably the last 2 weeks. I'll call some guys and they'll bring some dogs down. And we probably got 1,500 acres here at the house. We kind of leased that, we always have a good time at. So yeah, we deer hunt some. It's just not as much as we used to. Like I said, growing up, that's all we did. Kind of was deer hunted, but things just kind of changed now.
That's right.
They just so many deer, man. We have a ball with them.
That's what
I tell you,
and y'all
we have a ball.
y'all going through there like the pest control. It sounds like.
Yeah, man. Well, so we had one when I was growing up. We had an older dog. And I don't know if y'all we went around head hunting her. Just take one dog, 4 or 5 acre block. We'd send her in there, man. She'd run 5 or 6 deer out. Send her in there again. She'd run deer out again. It was just, that's pretty fun. I know it ain't really realistic, but that's kind of fun. It's more of a let's put some meat in the freezer. We don't be judging. We ain't shopping at the Walgreens at the meat section.
Hey, if I lived
we
that problem, man, I'd have them sure enough pumpers, man.
Man, we got deer around here, man. It's crazy, and like it is, a lot of people just ain't shooting does. I mean,
I kind of lost you right there. But what'd you say? So I heard the last part. You said shooting does.
yeah, like I guess around here, a lot of people don't shoot does. They want them to
Oh, yeah.
the wall hangers, and that's just to each his own, whatever. But if I had my choice to eat one, it wouldn't be no big stinking buck. I could tell you that.
Shoot, them big old back straps, they say it's pretty good, man. I'll tear them up. Um, Somebody said you can't eat the horn.
Somebody said you definitely can't eat the horn. Somebody asked what our kennel names were. Mine's Running and Gunning. You probably won't ever see it nowhere because I ain't had a lot of hunts. And if I am, it's just because I'm bored to death.
I ain't really got no kennel name, man. I just show up to the woods, try to kill me a buck, man. I got nine about it.
Yeah, man, I got 200 comments out here I ain't even seen. Oh,
But
somebody said the 2020 plantation was pretty good. I had never tried it.
now some dog foods, man. I was in a group chat with some boys in Florida, and they'd name off some dog foods I ain't never even heard of before. I mean, we got kind of like the Showtime headquarters. It seems like here in Waycross, so you can go to any Indian store, convenience store, anything, about to find it. So it ain't too bad. I just been sticking with it.
Somebody said, "What's your opinion with running deer with red bones?" I'm a street walker guy, but what you think, man? I'll be honest with you. If you spend time with them, a dog is smart enough that you could train him to do anything in the world you want him to do. You know, there's different styles. People like front end minded dogs. Uh, People like slower track running dogs. Some people like dogs coming around. You know, just whatever. Some people even like beagles. but but you know, it's just kind of all what you want. You know, if you spend enough time with them, I'm a firm believer that you can make a dog do about anything you want him to do.
Man, I was just telling you, I was in a group chat. I don't know if the guy's in here or not, but dude from Alabama joined, and he has 3 GSPs, man, that he says will absolutely burn the woods down. And
Man,
I had a joke.
I've seen it.
I told him, I said, "All right, now they in there pointing at him, son. They got him pointing." And
That's all right there.
I mean, I'm like you, man. If you and even Tony said it, man. He said it, guy. We go to the pound right before deer season and go get 3 labs, a wiener dog, or something else. I mean, most people, they say the best is Walker dogs, and my daddy, he's had a bunch of different mixes, blue ticks, red bones, and I've seen some bad red bones. Going back to that comment, but it was kind of like where the red fern grows. One of them died, and then one of them got sad, and that one died, and then the other one died. It was crazy. Um,
Yeah, I've seen, man. I've seen bird dogs. Man, we had one of them looked like a Airedale. He would run the fire out of a deer. I've seen it. I've seen all kind of different dogs run deer, but you know it's whatever people want. But going to the German short hair pointers, so I went with Darren up there, and Hunter Harris had one, a German short hair pointer that he kind of would let run, and they run coyotes, and that was pretty neat to see. That was definitely a first for me. I've seen them run deer, but I ain't never seen them run coyotes. Them is some fast, athletic dogs. I can tell you that.
yeah, man, that's what they built for speed. It looks like short tails, man. They're just aerodynamic. Is what I was telling somebody. But yeah, I've seen some. I've even seen bulldogs run them, man. I mean, it ain't it's weird.
Somebody, this is a good one here. Somebody said uh, rate in order: sense, mouth, hunt, speed, bottom. What's the most important? I'll let you answer that one.
Say it one more time.
Somebody said rate this in order: uh, sense, mouth, hunt, speed, and bottom. What's the most important to you?
Man, I would say let me write them down again. Nose. I would say nose is a starter because if he can't smell it, he can't run it. I like a mouth next. Speed definitely. I mean, speed factors in. Between mouth and speed, I'd like to have him barking more than I would him be quiet. So I might have to say mouth first, and then I might have to say speed third, and then I don't remember what the last one was, but long as
Bottom.
hard track for track and don't break down, lose him, and all that. Push him out of the woods, and bring him to somebody.
Yeah, that's yeah, I would probably agree. We definitely big on the mouse around here. Growing up, I didn't know nothing about. I don't know if you know him. His name's Mr. Arthur Purvis. We call him the Colonel. Uh, Probably one of the biggest fox hunting legends in the game that's ever lived, besides Percy Flowers, and he hunted with Percy Flowers. Um, a lot of you older people probably know, Percy. Um, so I didn't know nothing about mouths, just squilly mouths, chopped mouths, stuff like that. And we kind of got into fox hunting and started breeding out with people fox hunting stuff, and come across Mr. Purvis, and man, he's got dogs just outstanding mouths. I mean, like unreal, big, hollering, crazy sounding mouths. And it kind of got me spoiled now. And I'll get rid of one in a heartbeat if he squeals. It's just, and once you hear dogs like that, man, it'll change your whole mindset. It's just it's a crazy different sounding dog, and it's kind of all the bloodline for me. A lot of people probably know him. Senator Sam is probably where most of it, kind of generated from. Even if you look in your field trials, your East Coast Hollywood, any big time dog you probably see probably originated from Senator Sam. Somebody said, "What's the biggest stud dog alive?" In my opinion, it's probably him. He probably ain't a very well big known dog, but if you ever go back to look at pedigrees, he's there and he's in it. And if you talk to a lot of people, they never started catching foxes until they started breeding to him. So he's definitely probably one of the biggest producers, in my opinion. But like I said, he's mouth's probably one of the most important to me. And then sense, if they ain't got enough, sense to operate with me, it's hard for me to deal with them. I get a little short temper sometimes, but
Yeah.
you kind of got to deal with it. There's another one going here. Somebody said, how many puppies you go through a year? How many?
Man, I got the same pack I had last year. That I had a So this is the whole backstory. I got out of hunting. I had a youngin, I had a kid, got married, had to sell my house, got back into it, got some of my dogs back, and kind of went through them, picked and choose what I wanted. So really, I'm rebuilding my pack. I got some dogs going last year. I got them going pretty good, and I only had 5 that would actually run. Well, I had 3, and then I had 2 more that finally figured out about halfway during the season. And then, so that's 5. Then I got 2 more, turned it on. Right now, I got a puppy I just got going. She's right at 8 or 9 months, maybe getting close to a year, but just finally got her going. She's doing pretty good, but I got 2 puppies out there right now, 6 months old, and I love to get them going right now for sure. I don't go through a whole bunch. I kind of live. I got neighbors really close by, and I kind of live kind of city county mix, which I'm in the county, but I got good neighbors. Or I actually got a Karen lives next door, and I ain't out with her in a while, but eventually she'll come stumbling back over here, and I'll have to give her my 2 cents. So it's kind of aggravating where I live at. I can't have 30 head. I wish I could, because I dang sure would. But I kind of pick and choose. I want 8. I want 9. That's going to be running by this year. That's what I want to stick with. I just want 9 sure enough good dogs, and that's what I'm gonna stick with.
I just want to see one before I die. I ain't got to own him. I just want to
Now
see one
I'm
good
gonna
one
take
before
that
I
back. Now I ain't got 9 pumpers. You know what I'm saying? I got
die.
dogs that run, or 7 dogs that run a deer. And I'd like to get my hands on a stud, because I hear about them all the time, but I ain't never had one.
I ain't been blessed enough with one.
Yeah,
I just want to see one. I ain't even got to own him. I just want to see him operate one time so I know what one look like.
now I've seen them. I know some boys that swear by them. That's the truth. So, um, we was talking earlier, man. Do you think, which you said you don't deer hunt as much, do you think deer hunting, fox hunting, all that's evolving as far as like, with the new technology we got now? Do you think a good dog back in the '70s would be a good dog today?
Whew, so this is kind of probably gonna step on somebody's toes. There'll be a lot of different opinions about this one. Me, honestly, um, technology has changed the world, and it will continue to change the world. And I think it's changed dog hunting in general. Um, I love old people. I will sit there and listen to an old person talk all day long, but that's kind of one of them things. The longer they dead, the better they got. uh, so yeah, I think technology has probably changed dog hunting. I'm sure that there is dogs that's probably. I take that back. So there's two different ways you can look at it. It depends on what you really calling a good dog. If you talking about a lot of people in the pen just want speed. No, I don't think dogs back then were as fast as what they were now. Absolutely not. They are absolutely racehorses now. I mean, I've seen dogs come across the road and never even touch the pavement. I mean, they just getting it. So yeah, I think that has changed. But now I do think the way technology has changed with people toning them and breaking them and stuff like that. It's definitely took a lot of the hunt out of them. I think a lot of breeding has kind of took uh, a lot of the qualities of an outside hunter out of the dogs. But there's still bloodlines out there that's really still got it in them. So it's kind of two different ways, yes and no. I think somebody with enough sense can take the technology today and have a better dog than they did back then. I just think the breeding, far as the game's evolved to more pen style dogs. Everybody kind of wants to see theirs first. And me, that really I could care less if mine's first. I want to hear them.
That's right.
What makes me kind of excited is if one comes up there to the road 5 foot and turns back, he never even hits the road. A lot of dogs will pile out in the road and kind of have to go back, and it kind of depends on what you call good. But far as speed, yeah, I don't think dogs are as fast as what they are today in today's world. I mean, they some boys that's got some dogs that are absolutely motorboating.
Yeah.
So it kind of, I think technology definitely helps if somebody's got enough sense to use it and not hurt them, because I do think the toning and the shocking and stuff like that has hurt a lot of people.
Yes, I think it'll ruin a dog, man, off the top.
Quick like in a hurry.
You know, it's I don't really like to tone mine or shock them, or I don't like to shock them as I don't want to shock them at all. But I mean, sometimes you just got to. But yeah, I think toning, man, it'll mess them up quick. Especially if they're in there running and you tone them while they're running. If they hit the road, I think that's about the best option. But then when they hit the road, they start looking for a truck. If you do it too much, instead of going on with it, and
It's a little give and take with all of it. Like I said, I think dog hunting's easier now with the technology. We used to have the beep beep collars, man. I just couldn't imagine going back and hunting that way. I can't. I remember it, but I just
exactly.
it's crazy to think about. Like, how did you even hunt? I mean, how did dog? And I guess back then dogs had enough sense to kind of come back. I don't honestly know.
Man,
It's crazy to me to think about hunting with a beep beep collar now.
not having anything, you just standing
Yeah, I mean
there
it'd be tough.
4 times, trying your best to find a dog. You stay out all night. I don't know. I asked my daddy that the other day. He said, "You just wait till somebody called you. They say they got your dog if you could." So, which I remember it, but man, it'd be tough to have dogs. Man, it'd be tough to do it without knowing where they are and towing them back to the truck.
Yeah, it's definitely a different world. Like I said, I think the technology to me is a good thing. We can't hunt the way we do without it. Absolutely cannot hunt without the technology. Being up around people's houses and yards, and kind of in town and stuff, and dealing with the traffic. Dogs has got to really handle. They really got to listen. If I say stop, that means stop. Even if and it makes it tough. It does make it tough because I like dogs to keep running, but if they get somewhere they don't need to be, or kind of get you in trouble, it's kind of a little give and take. You got to tone them, you got to get them back in the truck, but
Yeah,
at the same time, it hurts them. I mean, it kind of makes them feel like, in my opinion, I guess they get to thinking, they do something wrong. Is am I running off game? Stuff like that. But it's a little give and take. You got to give a little, get a little. But yeah, technology has definitely evolved, and we couldn't operate without it. The way we hunt, it has definitely helped us out a lot. And I also think, with the GPSs now, I don't think people saw what dogs were doing back then. Even though they were there, I really don't think people, actually really saw. I can tell you what mine's pissing wrong.
Yeah,
I mean, I know exactly. I mean, I if I got a young dog and he jumps a deer, I can tell you within 10 seconds. Uh, he's running a deer. Let me stop him. I mean, it's just if you use it to your advantage, man, it'll definitely help you out a lot, but it will definitely hurt you
yeah,
if you ain't careful. And I've seen it ruin dogs. I mean, dogs just won't leave the truck,
man.
and it's ruined them.
I jumped one time. Little block, a guy or where the guy was at, he had to walk because it was so wet. He put on waders, waded up in the water, and if they got across that line, they were in a steel hunting club. Well, he had a walkie-talkie, little handheld VHF, and died on him right when he got in there, right at dark. My dogs went in there, jumped, made a couple loops, and just went right to him. And you heard the shot, bam, bam, and I'm sitting there watching him on the Garmin, and he ain't talking to us, and I'm like, man, what's going on in there? And they just kept right on riding with him, going in that club, and I was towing, shocking, doing everything I could. Well, that guy was dragging the deer out. He killed a little buck, and was dragging the deer out to the woods, and he was going through the club because the road was closer out there. And man, I shocked and shocked and shot my dogs, and I felt terrible about it because it took me about a month.
It make you feel bad.
It took
It make
me
you
a month
feel
to
bad.
get that dog back going.
It'll make you honestly. It'll make you feel bad. Like I said, it's a little give and take. I about hate shocking mine. Honestly, I do. I feel terrible about it unless they piss me off.
Yeah,
Now, if one don't listen, I have no mind whatsoever. If I say come here, I mean that's what that means. Come here. I ain't playing about it either.
no doubt.
Um, but I hate shocking dogs off a game. Because our things we run the coyotes in the pen, but on the outside, we don't run the coyotes as much just because we don't have to train to do it. You jump a coyote, you kind of got to get them off. It makes you feel bad about it, but like I said, it's a little give and take. To hunt this day and time, you gotta have to deal with a certain thing. Just to be able to hunt, or you wouldn't really be able to.
Yeah.
Somebody said, how early would you start training, and what's the first thing you would do?
Man, if I could pull them off the tit and they would take a track, I'd do it. They, they can get him going as fast as they can. You hear everybody say they got 2, 3, 4 month old puppies jamming one. I would love to have something like that. I hear about it all the time. And
I
you got yours running out there. I see you running a rabbit.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna tell you. I do know that one thing about the beagles. I talk crap about beagles a lot. I really ain't got nothing against them, but I know a lot of people with beagles. For some reason, their dogs start a little, especially like rabbit dogs. Theirs start running. 4 months old. It's crazy. A 4 month old dog does. A grown walker dog still a puppy. He ain't gonna be doing much. If he is, he's running something. Man, I've seen 4 month old beagles jam a rabbit. I mean,
Yeah, man.
and that blows my mind. I mean, it's crazy. I've never seen a 4 month old puppy just take a deer and drive his brains out. I ain't ever seen it. I ain't saying it ain't happened, but it definitely ain't realistic. Won't.
That's right.
Uh, like I said, it might be 1 in 100 that can do it, and I've seen hundreds of them. That ain't realistic. But it is what it is. We take ours a little bit different. When they come off the tit, I got some tame rabbits. They're actually called Tennessee Redbacks. They don't run as far. Turn them loose in front of it. It kind of hops around in front of them, plays with it, and I got them now where I turn the rabbits loose on the yard, so they about turn wild. Every afternoon, I go open the pen. They go out the cornfield. They jump him. He'll make a loop, come back to the barn. He'll go up under the barn. The puppies will shoot under the barn after him. Man, that helps us a lot. I mean, I can about judge a puppy at 12 weeks old, and I ain't gonna say I can tell you what it's gonna be, but I can definitely tell you from us the same qualities you see as baby puppies is the same qualities that kind of come out in the long
That's
run.
right. You can see which one's got that drive and that hunt in him, and which I've had some dogs, man, that didn't do good in the rabbit pen. They shine when they're a year or 2 years old. So, I mean, I wouldn't say be a bad grade A trail dog, but I mean they'll be a good running dog. um, but you can definitely tell which one's gonna have the nose, the speed, and the drive. Have that grit to him that you're looking for.
My thing's the hunting. I really want to see which one's gonna go hunting. Because with us, like I said, it goes back to the thing. We have to break them off deer. You have to break them off the house cats. You got to break them off the coons and the possum, and you got to tone break them, and you have to break them off so much stuff to where it breaks them down so much that it is so hard to make a dog go hunt. I ain't talking about circle a bean field come back. I mean, cut him off the leash and he go hunting until you tell him to come back. That is very hard to find in our world.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, when I say hard to find, I mean 1 in 50. Uh, and really, they're 3 years old before they start trailing. They 3 years old before they start jumping. I've seen them jump at 2 years old. Wouldn't really call them a jump dog. But that it is so hard for us to find a dog. It's so hard for us to find a real trail dog, a real jump dog. I got 2 Gyps right now. Uh, it really won't go off hunting much. If you find a track in a road, and it's within a couple hours, you point at it, they gonna get him jump. There ain't no doubt about it. I mean, he's jump cat, fox, whatever. But they ain't hard hunting dogs, and it kind of goes hand in hand. It's hard to find a dog that's got all 5 qualities. It is tough. For us,
That would be.
you got limited game. You breaking them off everything. It's really tough. But for me, from what I like, raising the baby puppies, I want to see which one's gonna go hunting, which one's got enough sense to go out there and find a rabbit, which one's got enough sense to go in a pipe, go in a hole, go under the barn, stuff like that. When they get to a ditch, they jump over it, they go down up under it. I look for a bunch of different things as puppies. Like I said, it kind of pans out to me in the long run. Like I said, there's an exception to every rule. I'm sure some of them, don't like the rabbits at that age and kind of get older. But to me, you know, I get to see out of 20 puppies, I got one right now I really, really like. The other 19's kind of, they're going good and they're impressive to a lot of people. But man, I see 100 puppies a year at least.
Yeah. That's.
Not including the people that kind of hunt around us. Man, we go through so many puppies.
Yeah.
Uh, like I said, 1 out of 22 right now. I'm really impressed with. The rest of them, they can run the piss out of him, but they just ain't got the sense to. At that age, 10 weeks old, they ain't got the sense to go out there and find a rabbit. The one I'm talking about, man, he's looking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his. He's looking. He's looking for him, man. It's crazy to see, man. He'll win them. That rabbit will be 10 or 15 yards out there in that corner. He'll throw his nose up. I mean, it's pretty cool to see. At that age. But I do think at 15 months old is when you can really judge a dog. A year old, I mean, they could be running something, very well, but I don't think, especially male dogs. I don't know how it is. Now, that's another good question. Do y'all see that females kind of mature a lot quicker than males?
Um,
With y'all's?
and I'll tell you, I got 8 females out there, and they a lot better. As far as running and stuff like that, they don't. I'll say a male. I'll tell you what. I had an old trail dog. Old. He was old, man. He was probably 7, 8 when I got him. It was that same trail dog that I had, that I was telling you I raised all them puppies with, and I turned out. Uh, I was looking forward to getting another trail dog, so I went and got me another one. And instead of turning out my old trail dog, I turned out this new trail dog. And he went out there and took the track. I cut loose my old trail dog. He went out there and started tearing his ass up. I mean, jumped on him, started whipping him. And I said, God almighty, what's going on? I ain't never seen him do that. I thought this chucker had the mange or something. And, but what it was, man, he was jealous, man. I mean, an old dog, like, he knew his job was going to get took. He seen that this was a number 2 prospect coming in. And, yeah, it really showed me that old dog, man. He's got a lot more sense than you think. But far as the females, though, man, I got 9 head or 8 head of them out there, and I love them, dude. I mean, I like a good male dog. I had 2 male trail dogs, and I love my younger one to death. And um, he was just, I don't know, man. He kind of gave up on me, so I gave up on him. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
the truck. So I like the females, man. Like you said, I mean, they uh they do pretty good.
I'm a female. I'm a female man too. Definitely female. And from what I see, females mature a lot quicker than males. A male dog really ain't got what he's gonna have until he's 15 months old. 15 months old, he's about what he's gonna be at running something. Jumping something's a little different, but as far as running something, he's about as good as he's gonna get. Them females just come out when you start them, they come out the gate just
Yeah,
cutting their tail. I mean, it'll make you wonder, but they get 14, 15 months old. You kind of see the male dogs catch up or even kind of get a little bit ahead of them. So I definitely think the females mature quicker than the males. But I am a female person. The only thing that makes me mad is it gets so our best time of the year is like September, October. The beans are high, the corn's cut, everything's perfect. Foxes is grown, uh, and one comes in heat. Last of September, 1st of October, man, it will make you mad as fire. It's like one coming in heat over Christmas break for y'all. I mean, it just makes you mad as fire.
no doubt, man.
I mean, nothing they did. It's just that's my only downfall with females. Uh, they ain't gonna come in heat when you want them
That's right. It'll be first, second week of deer season. Like my I said earlier, I got one male and I got eight
to.
males. Man, it's be my first time or second time giving it a try this year, and I actually do have a female trail. I got three that'll actually take a track from the ditch, and the rest of them, they kind of when you hear them, it's about to be go time. But yeah, they shit, I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, I'll be pretty pissed off though if one of my gyps comes in heat because I know just about every damn one of them's gonna come in heat. It seems like it's.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
So what? And I know a lot of people's gonna have a lot of stories about this. What's the oldest track you've ever seen a dog take it and jump it?
Man, I ain't never sat there and watched a deer cross and put it on my stopwatch and went back and tried it. Um, I think if he crossed that night, you know, I'd say 8, 9 o'clock. I think the next morning I'll go over there and jump him. Or I've actually, people found tracks and the weather will just, it's all about the weather too and conditions. If it just rained, if it ain't rained, and I feel like if it ain't rained in 2 months, they can smell him for 3 years. Um, but sometimes it's weird, man. I don't know how it is up there, but if it rains down here, you think, man, that's a fresh 2 hour track. I'm about to go down there and grind on him, and hell, they won't take him 100 yards out there and can't find him. It'll piss you off. It's like the it's like the ground just soaks up the smell, or there's so much going on. It's different, and but I had to say, just the old 12 hour track, man. I don't know if I've ever put on a 3 day old track and they go out there and find him. I'd dang sure like to know when it was.
Yeah. Somebody say you learn something new every day. Somebody said if you got a jip in heat, put hairspray on.
I've heard all kinds of
I ain't never heard it. I mean, it might work. You learn something new every
stuff.
day.
Hairspray.
Oh, yeah. But going back to the rain, so it's kind of funny that you say that. So if we get a fresh rain, it's a good 2 hours before you can really run something.
Yeah,
We can always kind of follow Fox, but running, is a little bit different story. We're all about the smelling. If the smelling's bad, I ain't seen a dog. I ain't saying there ain't one. I ain't seen a dog that can run a gray fox like he's supposed to. The smelling is bad. I don't give a dang what he is, a bloodhound, whatever it is, he cannot run a fox like he's supposed to. If the smelling is good, you can. But like I said, we can always follow a fox, but he's gonna be so far ahead of him, and you're pissing in the wind, really.
right.
Um, but after a fresh rain, it's good 2 hours before you can really smell. Now, if it's dry here, it's terrible scent conditions for us. I mean, it's awful. But with you saying that, I'd imagine y'all probably in a little bit more swamp, a little bit more wetter place. Out here on these hills with these crops, you kind of got to have some moisture. But yeah, definitely, I would say y'all probably in a little bit wetter place to begin with.
Oh yeah, for sure. And hell, I think it rains down here every day, man. I mean, 3, 4 o'clock, it's gonna rain, and if it stays consistent, it's pretty good. Like right now, I could probably go down there and jam one, but I really need to go. I got to get my truck fixed, and I'm supposed to tomorrow. When I do, we got about a month. Yeah, about about 5 weeks left of running, and I got to get them going, man. I got to get these puppies going, tuned up, because when deer season rolls around, I don't feel like you should be training puppies, down there in the deer woods. It's hunting season. You do that during the
Time to hunt.
later on in the season, it's fine. I don't mind it, but at the start of it, we trying to get on them sad daddies.
Y'all ever kill any in velvet?
No, it seems like right now they're in velvet, and it won't be probably, especially by October. I ain't never heard of one getting killed in velvet.
So y'all's don't come in till October.
Yeah, and y'all's comes in what, August 17th or something.
August the 15th. It is
Fine.
crazy. It is too freaking hot. I don't give a thing what nobody. It is too hot.
That's right.
They kill them in velvet all the time around here.
How,
Yeah, it's too hot.
how long does it last down there?
From August the 15th to January the 1st.
Yeah. So
So it's
where y'all kind of burn out on it.
well, there's a lot of people that I know. Some boys they hunt from August 15th to January the 1st. Every Saturday, they plan their vacations. They take every Thursday off during their season. They hunt Thursdays and Saturdays. December rolls around. I know some people take the whole month off. Yeah, so they get after it around here now. I mean, them boys, especially if you cross the line over there to them Indian boys, they don't be playing no games. they after when their season comes in, they balls to the wall until it goes out. I mean, they don't hold no slack on them, and they feel like if he's breathing, he should be able to go.
I know about when James, because CR starts October 17th, and it usually goes around the 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere around there. And when that hits, man, I'm kind of getting burnt out. I done spent all my money, my gas. I'm tired. I'm fat. I done killed every doe I think I could see, but not really for people that's in. Um, but it's kind of the bucks have dwindled down. We kind of find less and less tracks, and but when that first month, man, I'm busting it, man. I'm down there as much as I can. First 2 months, really, to about December when it starts wearing off for me. I'm about to
So
wind it up.
when is y'all's rut then? Is y'all's rut? So ours is like late September, 1st October. Is y'all's kind of the same?
It's kind of weird, man. It seems like one day you'll go down to the club and you'll kill a buck and his neck will be like this. But if I had to say when the rut was, I'd say closer to. I know one year it was right around Thanksgiving. We got down there and we found buck tracks running like crazy, and it's kind of deals with a cold front or something like that. A hard rain. It's random. I mean, I couldn't tell you an exact pinpoint date, but I would say if I had to say, I'd say closer to November, like 17th. Middle to November.
Yes, ours kind of. Somebody told me when the acorns start falling is when ours start rutting. I don't know how true it is, but typically, if you're gonna kill a deer, it's in October, 1st November. You see them start. We got a process. I got a processor right here, like 2 miles from my house, and you definitely tell when people start killing the grown ones.
Yeah.
I mean, it's now they do kill them. I tell you, the people that really still hunt, they I mean, we don't have a lot of them. I say hardcore still hunters. We don't have a lot of them. We do got some. That's really serious about it and put time into it. Now they do kill some grown ones in August with the velvet. I mean, they smoke them, but like after the first week or two, it dwindles down once they realize our deer around here is crazy. Like before deer season, they be everywhere, and like August 15th, them sons disappear. They don't be nowhere.
Yeah, it's like
You sure ain't got to worry about hitting one in no car.
that's
It's
right.
crazy.
I thought about making a TikTok about that funny video. Deer in the woods with a calendar or something like that. Because it seems like you can ride around, see bucks all year, and then when deer season rolls around, you'll never see that son of a gun again.
It's crazy, man. I'm telling you, they so smart. Deer very smart. People
Oh
don't give them
yeah,
credit for it. They pretty
they
smart.
don't get antlers for nothing, man.
You'd be surprised that the deer that probably get passed up. Even running dogs just lay right there. Especially if you got plenty of does, man. They'll lay right there. And they'll be jamming does all around them, and it's around here, man, if you get on a buck, you better kill him quick.
Oh,
Because it won't be next time they cross the road, it's gonna be a 60-pound yearling. I mean, that's not it's crazy. It's like they know where they last. Kind of like that TikTok you made about the
that's
safety.
what I was just thinking about.
Man, that was pretty funny there. I laughed at that one for I don't know how long. That's probably one of the most creative ones I've
I'll
seen.
be honest with you, it was during deer season, and I casted my dogs, and I was sitting there and I was bored, and I was like, man, let me get out. I'm gonna make a TikTok or something. It took me about 30 minutes to make this TikTok, you know. So I would pull around, I show some of the guys. Well, by the time my dogs jump, goes to my sister, she shoots at a couple does, and I'm just sitting in my damn truck, you know, editing this video, trying to put it on TikTok, and you know, we got injured does running around. Uh,
Yeah, that one was pretty good. Now I got to say that's probably the best one out. That topped all of Tony's singing there. I got to say.
oh, oh, Tony, son, that joker can't hit down, or he can't hit a tune in a bucket, son. That joker,
He's a trip.
I don't know if he's still in here or not.
He might be over here. He was commenting like crazy while ago. That's a trip now. I can tell you, if any man don't like Tony, he's got something wrong with his heart. He
Uh,
needs to go get it checked.
oh yeah, he's got something.
He said, F you, Jack. Sing me something, Todd. Did you see the one he just did?
Yes, did you see what I?
Oh, my God. He's got way more balls than I do. There is no way I was singing in front of that many people. We ain't talking about no 100 people, but it's crazy. He's got a lot more balls about him than I do. I got to give him that.
He don't give a damn, man. He ain't gonna catch me out there singing because I'll probably sound just like him if I do.
Man, and people be hyping him up all the time. Like, man, write me enough. I caught myself doing it. I was like, man, you write me one?
Yeah, I seen Tony singing, and I'll kind of record myself in the shower, you know, trying to see what I sound like. If I can do a TikTok like that, and I said, hell no, I can't.
No, there ain't no way I could do it. I just ain't got enough. I would get laughed off.
Oh yeah,
Boy, them boys right here would wear me out about it. But, no, he's a funny feller now.
oh yeah. Um,
Well,
gonna read some comments right here. I got a guy commented earlier. He said, what I think about beagle walkers. I actually got 3/4 beagle walkers. They got a little bit of nose in there. They ain't got much speed. I mean, they'll run him. But I don't have a problem with beagle walkers, man. I love them.
y'all have a lot of problems. So, where we at, man, the Beagles would drown. I mean, the hunting club I'm at, the deer hunting club, I'm actually in a club. It's like 14,000 acres. Man, they would honestly drown. I mean, it's that wet. I
Yeah.
mean, there's sometimes that they don't get to hunt for like 2 or 3 weeks. If we get a hard rain, it pushes through. I mean, it from gate to gate. I mean, it's flooded. I mean, there just ain't no getting in there.
Yeah, it could get, you know, if it's still wet from our hunting club front because, like I said, we hunted a swamp. So with as far as the hurricane coming not too long ago, it's still freaking flooded. And like I said, it rains every afternoon. So I ain't never had just straight up beagles. But yeah, I can see, you know, sometimes them guys they can only put them in certain blocks or you know something like that. Or they can put some little swimmies on them or something and get caught, you know. Uh,
Yeah, it's a wet hole around, and that club I'm in. Honestly, if I was going deer hunt again, I would go to some kind of tree stop, and I would probably go to Brandon Wisenut's house and buy a jip and breed him to probably a coon dog that's a little bit trashy. I would definitely probably mix mine up. Uh, they might not have as much bottom, but I would definitely cross mine with a little bit of tree stop for sure. Just because of the water down here. So when this was probably when I was it's like right before I got in high school. My cousin actually had a coon dog. She coon hunted, and he was real bad about deer. She could not break him, and it was just terrible. And so we run him like the last 2 weeks of Christmas. And man, you would be surprised at how that thing could run a deer through that water. I mean, it was just you could tell when the rest of them hit the water, it kind of fiddled out, and they would go to fall, and that coon dog would stick that son of a gun and drive his ever
funny.
more brains out. So yeah, it's there's actually a couple people I know that's had coon dogs. The tree stock dogs can run the piss out of a deer. They just quite ain't got. By the end of the 2 weeks, he wished he was a tree dog. I could tell you, he didn't like the deer as much as what he thought he did.
That's what a guy just commented. He said he runs nothing but tree stock.
Yeah, it's like I said, there's all kind of ways to do it. That's what I do. There's actually a guy in California that fox hunts in a national forest, and that's what's different. All their fox, he's buffing.
All right,
There you go.
I'm back.
Well, I was saying, there's a guy in California I talked to, and all their foxes climb. And that's what they run foxes with, half and half. They got tree stock in there.
Really? So they'll be in
Yeah.
the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, but he said 9 out of 10 foxes climb, and like I've seen 2 foxes climb my whole life.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Now in a puppy pen, they'll climb like crazy.
They try to get out of there.
Yeah, they get smart. They learn how to climb. But like our cats climb, about I'd say 5 out of 10 probably climb, 5 out of 10 probably run, somewhere along in there. But that's what I mean. He fox hunts with, I think his is like either a quarter tree stock or half. Man, they be running the fire out them foxes. It blows my mind.
Yeah, if he's climbing, they own him, son.
Yeah, I mean he's. I'll actually send you a video of it. Man, he's got some big mouth dogs. I mean, big old. I mean, they look like horses.
So
They be blowing the top out of that son of a gun.
the foxes over there in California, you say?
Yeah, so he stays somewhere near like a big national forest or something.
Really?
I don't quite exactly know where it's at, but he talks like it's actually a pretty big thing. Like I said, I don't think he stays in like the California. When you say California, everybody thinks about casinos and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think he stays like in that kind of terrain, but it's some kind of. It looks hilly to me, like mountains or something. So
Yeah. A game.
that's what he uses.
I seen a game warden show one time. They were over there in Oregon or somewhere, and I think they were treeing bear and killing them out of season and selling livers in the black market or something crazy like that. And I didn't even know you could run dogs over there at that part. I thought it was just Mississippi on. Maybe I don't even know if you can run dogs in Louisiana. I ain't even sure. I know Mississippi they do.
Oh yeah,
See,
yeah.
these TikToks, man, I was blown away by where people dog hunt, and I started selling hats, and I was shipping them out everywhere, man. It was crazy.
So that brings up a good question. Do you think that dog hunting has a future with kind of the technology? You think technology has helped dog hunting in a way or hurt it?
I would say, as far as hunting, like me and you, it helps us out, like we were saying earlier. But with the way the world is today, man, there really ain't no telling. If we get some dummy in there that just says, "I don't like dog hunting," he can get rid of it like that. And with far as phones and people filming the wrong stuff and putting stuff out there that could hurt us, and it really just takes one bad apple, man. And you see a lot of, as far as the gun stuff going on in Virginia. Them guys are fighting over there like crazy. It seems like every day just to keep your guns. And if it comes to that point, there ain't no telling. There'll be a lot of outlawing. All I can say. But if technology stays like it is, I think we'll be all right. But there ain't. I don't know if there's any telling, man. What you think?
So I'm kind of with you. I think so. Where I'm from, dog hunting was a big thing. Quite ain't as big no more. Like I said, 15 minutes up the road, that's all you see is dog boxes. But technically, in Latta, I can remember when I was a little kid going on Main Street to eat breakfast in the morning times, and I mean, a half a mile down both sides of Main Streets, all you seen was dog boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of like that no more. Um, and I guess the kids, my age, they don't really have the opportunity to do it. But I do think like TikTok and Facebook and stuff, I think these kids are seeing really how fun it is. And all they've heard was dog hunting's bad, it ain't fun, stuff
Exactly.
like that. They've never done it, they've never seen it, they don't know how it works.
That's
I mean, some people honestly think that we have a steering wheel on the dogs, and we're telling them to turn the deer to us. I mean, they don't
Yeah,
know.
man, it's crazy.
And I honestly think, man, it's from what I can see, I think it's starting to open up a lot of people's eyes. You know, I mean, we got a voice too, and it ain't what people think it is. You know, not everybody's bad, not everybody's outlaws. People do it the right way. Um, and I think a lot of people is really starting to open up to it and kind of see, especially these younger kids. They see how fun it. They see people like me and you having a good time cutting up left and right. They ain't got to be quiet.
That's right.
They ain't got to sit there for 2 hours with their tail hurting. You know, it ain't like that. You know, it ain't all about killing or stuff like that. There's a lot of fellowship that goes on and in the dog world, and I think people starting to see it and really see how fun it is. I kind of think it's helping it in a way. It could hurt it, in the long run. Some dummy could post the wrong thing. Uh, but I didn't realize how big the dog hunt world was. I I did not realize, man. It's crazy. Uh, to see how many people really are into the dogs. I think I think with a couple people could really get together and use their heads with it. It could kind of get bigger. Um, all it would take was one person to change these timber companies' minds, man. 4 or 5 clubs open back up. I mean, it would. I think it would definitely blow up
And you
for
talk
sure.
about timber companies, man. I mean, every year it seems like the price to join a hunting club just keeps jumping and jumping and jumping, and that a lot of people away, man. I mean, for one, this ain't a cheap sport. We putting in a lot of money, dog food, collars. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then on top of that, you got to pay 2,000, 1,500. Some people pay 3,500 just to run dogs. I mean, when's it gonna stop? I don't think it ever will. As far as you see, wood prices going up, gas price fluctuates. I mean, I feel like one day we're gonna be paying $5,000, $6,000 just to dog hunt. Join a lease. As far as us, deer hunters, because a lot of people join clubs and a lot of people where I'm from join clubs. Now, some people have the luxury of national forests and stuff like that, which would be awesome. And but most of us we gotta pork up some money to Rayonier just to and it's not just me. It takes 30, 40 people to get a lease, and I don't know, that can steer a lot of people away when you start talking big money like that. So
Yeah, I mean it definitely goes hand in hand. Like I said, I think there's enough people that can fight for it now. Uh, going back even to the gun things, man, I just don't see how they could take people's guns and get away with it. There's too many people like me and you that it would really piss off that
yeah, man.
ain't gonna listen. I mean, it's just it. I feel like they'd have a bad day if
Yeah,
they really tried to take people's guns, and I think there's enough people, at this day and age with the technology that can kind of come together to kind of save it. I mean, it's definitely getting tougher every day. But with that being said, I mean, it's all it takes is one to ruin it, and I'm kind of vice versa with it. All it takes is one to get
yeah,
it going and kind of if people really see that there's a good side to it, not it ain't all bad. It's definitely fun, and you can do it the right way without pissing people off. I think it I think it'll definitely could go somewhere. Probably not, but it could. But I think there is a future in it. I think it. When I was a kid, Daddy said when I was 20 that you probably won't see dogs. I've heard it since I was little. It's kind of each year it kind of keeps going on, and you know. I'm a big thing on the technology. Technology's changed a lot. We live in a whole different world than people did 10 years ago.
oh yeah,
I mean, you would never imagine that me and you talking on the phone right now, and people listening to our stupid tail talk about dogs. I never would imagine it. So I don't know. I hope it does. I really don't want to go nowhere, but I'm with you. If it's outlawed, I'll become an outlaw.
yeah. Same way with you, brother. Um, but man, I reckon I'm about to call it a night. I got a long work day in the morning, so
I heard that, brother.
everybody joining and showing some love to the dog men of the world. Which I
You want to tell them about the YouTube page right
Yeah,
quick?
we got a YouTube page. It's called the Dog Men. We already got mine and Tony's episode on there last week, and every week we're going to tune in. And I don't know if Tony and Jack's going to do one this week or they're going to wait till next week, but tune in to them next time. And give us a shout, man. Get on there, like, subscribe, and tell us what you think. Any kind of questions y'all want to hear, comment on there and let us know. All right, big dog. We'll see you.
We'll see y'all.
Take care.